Frankly, at this point, I, of course, obviously follow through my chairman what's going on. At this point, we have not taken that up in caucus. I think it is scheduled next week, and we have folks on the committee who have raised the issue and discussed it. I would say our caucus does not have a position on that issue at this time.
My impression would be that we have 88 counties who are used to running this show on their own. As all of you know, covering news in your local communities, there's a lot of personality and insight, I guess, institutional memory on those county boards, and I think balancing that is going to be part of the issue. That would be my guess.
Good guess. Absolutely.
Would you like to say something on that, Liverver?
Oh, sure. I think injecting technology into this process certainly would be helpful when trying to balance 88 counties. And also would be helpful in terms of them managing voter registration. Keeping registrations current and accurate, it would be convenient for the voters in terms of making sure that their information was current and reducing the possibility of them having to vote a provisional ballot and then furthering that possibility that that ballot may not be counted. So though we do not have a caucus position on it, I would suspect that that's something that our caucus would support.
The question came to my mind as he was talking that online is sort of shorthand for convenience right now, but there are a lot of Ohioans who aren't necessarily can't avail themselves of the internet or computers. We're working on broadband statewide, but is that going to be a factor as you're considering this?
I think absolutely it will be. I was just thinking as the discussion went on, 1971, Ted Brown had sent a bill up, the sponsor was Roger Tracy, pardon me, 69 that was, and that was requiring registration in all counties. And the representative from Crawford County got up and made a very eloquent speech on behalf of those who made up the Cornstalk Brigade and indicated that those people all knew each other. They didn't have to have registration. And he closed by saying, let it be remembered that one last time the rustle of cornstalks was heard in this chamber, and he beat Ted Brown on the floor of the House with a vote. And we did not make that uniform all over the state. Yeah, there are a lot of places I think that would be regarded as difficult for senior citizens, and some of the areas there is not the access that people would look for. I don't know how widespread that is. Obviously, those of us in the House, having worked with John Husted, will want to listen to what his thoughts are on the Senate.
On the Senate side, we want to welcome Senate President Keith Faber. He's with us, and Senator, we're talking about Secretary Husted began our day, and he raised the issue of online voter registration and checking on sort of how, taking the pulse on how you guys feel that bill will fare this session.
Well, we've had a number of discussions on it in our caucus, and our caucus is mixed. There are concerns on a number of issues, and I think Secretary Husted has done his best to try and alleviate most of those issues. But we're continuing to have discussions, so I think it's premature for us to say whether we're for or against it. But certainly we're giving it due consideration.
Senator Schiavoni, would you like to say something on this?
Sure. You need to, in order to really use this to your advantage to help folks cast votes, they have to first have the ability to use the technology, and second, be able to find that technology. And so if you don't have that, you don't want to put people at a disadvantage. As long as you still give them the opportunity to vote in person, you still give them the opportunity to do absentee, and then add this to enhance the whole voting process, I don't see any problem with it at all.